So in this short video, we're going to show you how to set a Fenn trap. Fenn traps come in two sizes, the Mark IV and the Mark VI. They are approved in the UK for different species in a document called the Spring Trap Approval Order, STAO. And the Spring Trap Approval Order differs for Northern Ireland, for England, for Wales and for Scotland. And there are other regulations in those different areas that say who can set a trap and in what circumstances. So you need to look at that legislation and understand it before you buy or use a trap. Looking at the Mark IV first, which is the smaller of the traps, it has some key parts to it. It has what we call the treadle plate, which is the trigger that sets a trap off, the thumb ring, which you use as part of setting the trap, and then this brass piece, which is called the dog, and this little silver hook here, which is the safety catch. And all these traps have a chain on the end, and it's really important when you set a trap that you peg that down so that if you should have a foul catch, you haven't got an animal going away attached to a trap and in distress, but also so that you don't get your trap stolen by foxes or badgers if you have a successful catch. To set the trap, put your thumb in the thumb ring. I'm right-handed, so I put my left thumb in the thumb ring. You start to squeeze that down, and that then frees up the jaws. It makes them a lot more flexible. You can use your other finger and thumb to bring the jaws down. And at that point, I then engage the safety catch. Now in this configuration, the safety catch is tight against those jaws. So that trap is very safe. It's set, it's under tension, but it's a very safe way to transport it. A little point now about how you use the trap before I set it fully. It's designed so that the target species comes in from either of one of those two directions, going across, not end on over the spring or from the other way. You want the direction of travel to be across that axis. So when you're ready to set it, you press the spring down, the jaws down a little bit more, bring the brass dog over and engage it in the little brass toggle that's in the plate. Now at the moment, although that's set, the safety catch is still in play. If I take that off, the trap is fully live. What you do need to be careful of when handling these traps is if you tip it like that, the safety catch will tilt off of its own because it's no longer held under tension, so you do need to watch that. When you're ready to set the trap, when it's finally in position and you're happy to use it, that's the point where you take that safety off. These traps have to be used in a tunnel. It can be a natural underground tunnel, if there is one, or it can be a trap made from anything like bricks or stones or timber. We sell a wooden trap which has jump rails and mesh excluders to maximise the safety and keep the non-targets out. And the purpose of a tunnel is to do that, is to keep non-target species out, but also to hold any catches securely in the trap when the tunnel goes off. If I compare that to a Mark VI, which is a much larger version and much harder to set, the setting process is the same. Bring it down, put the safety on, and then when you're ready, you engage the dog in the plate. What's interesting here is you can see that the Mark VI is a much broader trap, so it needs a bigger tunnel, both wider and taller, but you can see that there's a much bigger gap between the end of the plate and the trap. And that's really important, that when you're building your tunnel, you have the appropriate fencing to target your target onto the plate so that it hits it squarely and is in the middle of the trap.